All right, well, Jill, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me here. And tell me your full name.
Jill Watson.
Oh, I love the name Watson. I don't know. It was just always a name that resonated with me. Actually, when I was working in a nursing home, that was the unit that I first trained on. And so that's yes. So Jill Watson.
This is fate then for us to be here together.
Yes. So I'm so excited to hear about all the magical things that you do. So if you want to just give us a little bit of your history, your background, and then we'll just take it from there.
As far as the sacred plant medicine, I have been training in that for the last 2 years. And I work with Kambo primarily. That's a medicine from a frog, the Medusa frog in the Amazon. And it works with your lymphatic system. It works with all of your systems in the body. And it also works with your emotional, your spirit. But the lymphatic system works with the circulatory system. And those two systems work in tandem. And it ultimately excretes to your excretory system. So the combo itself is very intelligent, and it will see where the inflammation is or where somebody has an illness, a disease, and it will go to it, and it will encompass that, it will surround itself, and it will flush it out of your body.
Wow, that's amazing. And I've heard it's a kind of a short process when you take it, right? How long does it last?
The combo itself, after application, takes about 20 minutes. For myself, when I offer it to individuals, I incorporate a lot of breath work to get the system, the energy moving throughout the body. And I've found that gives a more beautiful purge for individuals.
Wow. Yeah. So that's recommended for certain people. Like, is there certain types of clients that you have, like people that are dealing with inflammation, I guess, and maybe chronic illnesses?
Yeah. So I think all of diseases come from inflammation, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are so apt to take something from the Western medicine doctor to reduce the inflammation, but there's so many natural ways to reduce inflammation.
Right.
And that's what Kambo does. It's a very intelligent medicine that reduces that. So if people have any type of chronic fatigue or chronic pain or migraines, instead of going and taking that aspirin or whatever the medicine might be, Kambo is a really beautiful natural medicine to use. So the process itself is about 20 minutes long, but like I said, I incorporate breath work, and I also use Ràpe, which is a snuff, to kind of ground people before the ceremony. And I also use Sananga, which is their eye drops.
The eye drops, All right, so I'd love to go through and see those. So the experience of the Kambo, though, can you tell us first a little bit about what the experience is like?
The experience is
pretty intense, right?
Pretty intense, yeah. But here's the thing. I think that we as a society really think that we shouldn't ever endure any pain. We want everything to be easy peasy. We want everything to just be smooth, and we'll do anything. We'll take something from the doctor to make everything okay. But that's not how life is, You have to always go through a little bit of pain to heal. If you go through a breakup, there's always a lot of heartache and a lot of pain, and that takes a little process. It takes a process to get to heal again. And with Kambo, it's applied by burning gates very lightly on the skin, and then it's wiped away. The skin is wiped away. The Kambo itself is applied. It's a little ball, and you feel the Kambo go through your system. It's a very physical process. It's also a mental process, an emotional process. And you will feel your body get a little bit warmer. Your head may start to pound, but that's all very short. Soon after you have that experience, your body regulates again. And then the peptides that are responsible for the cramping in the stomach will start to activate, and then you will have a purge, either from the top, from the bottom, from the, crying, sweating. You might have all three, or you may not purge at all. You may purge later the next day.
Okay.
But it's a very personal experience.
Yes.
When I work with people, it usually lasts about an hour and a half. Not the combo itself, but the breath work, the whole sananga, the hape, the resting.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. And so where did you learn how to do this? And where did you first get introduced to it?
Yeah. So I trained with a really wise gentleman out in California. His name is Rene Dominguez.
Oh, okay, nice.
And he's been working with the medicine for 30 years. And he travels all around the world. He has a lot of wisdom. He comes from generations of curanderas. His aunt was a curandera, which is a medicine woman. And so he's been with that medicine ever since he was a child.
Oh, okay.
But he's an exceptional teacher, and it was a very intense program that I went through. Very hands-on. You learn by applying it to yourself over the course of a week, and then you apply it to people from the community who come to be helped.
Right. Wow. Amazing. So are there any hallucinations with this?
No.
Not like a psychedelic experience? Okay.
No, Kambo isn't a psychoactive.
Right.
You may feel as though you're having a spiritual experience because it's so intense. But it's not psychoactive. It's not hallucinogenic. It is a completely natural medicine meant to help an individual, to help protect an individual, help prevent diseases, issues, illnesses, ailments. And it actually the medicine that I work with and that my community of people work with comes from the Matses. The Matses are an indigenous community in the Amazon. And actually in last February, we went to meet with the Matses.
That's amazing. And you went to the Amazon?
Yes.
That's
so
probably so exciting.
It was very exciting. We were able to source the medicine ourselves late at night.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Late at night you went? Did you have to bring weapons and stuff?
We had a machete and a headlamp.
Yeah.
A machete and a headlamp. And we went maybe about 9 p.m. And we were guided to where the fog is.
Because he's only active at night?
He's only active at night, correct. So he's in the trees, and you have to search for him. But once you get the frog, there's a very humane way to get the secretion. No. No.
Okay.
The frog is alive. You milk it.
Oh, okay.
And so you stimulate the frog's skin with like a little stick, and it secretes this milkiness. And then you take it, you remove it with a wooden stick, and it's applied onto another wooden stick, this is it. This is the Kambo right here. This stick actually is from the Matses. In the Amazon. So I think it's really important to know where your Kambo comes from and who you work with. You have to work with a practitioner who's been trained in it because, it's a medicine and you have to know the proper way to apply. I was taught very conservatively, and we do intake forms when I work with individuals. You never want to just buy a Kambo stick yourself or work with somebody that you don't know has trained. Because it's a powerful medicine, and you have to work with intention. But this is a stick. So this is the dried Kambo, and what happens is it's scraped off with a knife, and you wet it, and you form it into little balls, which then get applied to the skin.
Wow, what an amazing process! Like, how did this even come to get discovered? You wonder about these things sometimes.
Well, I mean, it's been happening for eons. A lot of communities in South America, the Matses being one of them, have been using it for eons. And they use it, they apply it to toddlers. So that's more like a vaccine of the jungle for them.
Oh, wow.
It's to help them prevent any illnesses, diseases. They also use it when the men go out to hunt for food, because
Okay.
Kambo removes the human scent from you.
I wonder why that is. Well, I guess because of your lymphatic system, you're just going through this cleansing process.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah, correct. The Kambo itself is activated by water. And so there is a lot of purging that does occur.
Okay.
But the Matses use it. So the men apply to men with something like this. It's called the tashimi vine.
Okay.
Here in the United States, oftentimes we use something that looks like an incense stick. So the markings that are made on the skin are very, very tiny, and they're very superficial.
Yeah.
And then we use a Q-tip to remove the skin, to clear off the space for the Kambo itself. And it's activated by water.
Oh, okay.
And so I'll spray water on the skin and on the medicine. And again, the people have been consuming water while I'm making the markings. But back to your what you were asking about, I think that in the 40s, there was a researcher, an Italian researcher, who identified the benefits of the animal kingdom and what they offer.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of research on it. And there are about 70 patents, I think, currently with pharmaceuticals that include Kambo.
Oh, really?
Because they understand the power of the peptides.
Wow. That's amazing. Oh, it's just nature is a pharmacy. It really is. It's Mother Nature is, there to provide us with all these different resources, and that's the way it should be.
It should be
like that.
I think that the most common is cannabis, and I think that that's becoming more permissible in our culture and society. There's such hard strains. They're so strong these days, and but its intention and its purpose previously was to be used as a medicine to help people, not get high off of it.
Yeah.
So I just think that Kambo itself is so new to the Western society, but it's something that I hope to bring to more people in this area.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends on how you use these. These are all tools, right, that we can use to heal, better ourselves and everything. When I smoke, so I used to smoke cannabis years ago, and I was just smoking, to get high, like when I was younger. But now I smoke strictly by myself in the evening, and I do it as I meditate. And then I get so much information. I get so many downloads. Yeah. It really opens up everything. You tune into your body. You can feel all these different things that, it's like, oh my God, I'm so tense in all these places, and I didn't even realize, because you're not tuned in.
Yeah.
So these are all great tools to help us connect with ourselves, with our, higher self and everything, future self.
I think that, when a medicine speaks to you, it speaks to you.
Yeah.
And I think that with Kambo, for me, it helped me at a time when I've always been very natural in how I healed myself. I'm very much not one to go to the doctor and get antibiotics if I don't need them.
Yeah.
Again, I think Western medicine has its purpose for sure. If you have brain surgery, if you break your arm, if you really need that antibiotic or that medicine, for sure. But we can eliminate a lot of those by being preventive and working with medicines.
Right.
For me, I got involved with it after a very hard breakup. And something inside of me, I knew people who worked with the medicine, and something inside of me just, was drawn to it. And I think that's really how it is with a lot of medicines, you're drawn to it. There's a calling to it.
Yeah.
And it becomes your medicine.
Right.
And working with Kambo and doing it so many times, it's just been, I get those downloads like you were talking about, and I get that spiritual experience. And Kambo, for me, my experience and the experience with people that I work with, it's a very grounding, very beautiful, very spiritual experience. That's what you're left feeling, just this calm and this levity that perhaps, you know, prior to working with it, you know, your head is constantly chattering because we're in this society where there's so much going on. There's so much social media. There's just so much stimulation, and
it brings you back
down. And you know, I think that one of the medicines I also work with in a ceremony with individuals is Ràpe.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yes, I know that you use it every morning.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So Ràpe is a ceremonial snuff. This one is from the Amazon when I was there in February, and then this one is from Cosmo Visions, which is the organization that I trained with. With Renee Dominguez, and it's applied with, if you're self-serving, you apply the snuff right here, and in here, and then you apply it in your nose and you blow into your nose. I have a variety of different pipes here. This one is a double, so that you don't have to do individual when you're serving somebody. You put the snuff here, and
that's good. Just a little bit.
There we go. And then this is
that's a fun one.
This is great. I bought this in the Amazon as well from a vendor.
Very
but
cool.
This is a self-serve and also to serve a client. And it's very easy. It's a good travel one.
That's good.
If you don't have the space.
So I've had it sometimes where at first, like, I didn't know if I was doing it right. And I was just sort of like inhaling it, I guess, which is different than now I'm blowing it in and everything. So at first it was like I was having some reactions sometimes, and then like it was in my throat, and I was like, and then, you know, of course it also like it brings up phlegm, and then you cleanse. It cleanses too.
It does. It's supposed to open your third eye.
Yeah, it really goes straight up into here, clears out everything, and I like it for my eyes. You're saying you have some eye issues going on. Excuse me. The Sananga, which I forgot to bring today, but those eye drops from the Sananga are incredible. They help, you know, if you do it, I think once every day for 30 days, it improves your eyesight. I don't know how long have you worked with it before consistently? So I was working with, so I had the Sananga. It was like a mild version. But it was like so intense. So I only did it like twice, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to like just hold off on this. And then so recently I got these honey ones. So they're not as intense, but still pretty potent. And so I was using the honey, and it's still powerful.
It's very powerful.
Have you tried the honey ones?
I haven't. Okay. I haven't. I bought a bunch from the Amazon when I was down there, and these are like jalapenos in your eyes. But I don't want to freak anybody out. It's like the intention is to get the energy that's stuck, stagnant in your body moving, because that's where a lot of issues occur too. You tense up if you have that energy. You're not crying. You're not releasing your emotions. So the eye drops help you to do that automatically, right? And they flush your system of that energy, and they just move it. Some people do purge from the strength. It depends on, you know, how strong it is. But I also love working with that with my clients as well. You know, I say jalapenos, but and it's very, 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 very intense and very strong, but it's so intense for only a short little moment.
Right.
You know? So it goes back to what I was saying is like, you know, a lot of people just want the easy way out, and they don't want to feel any pain in life. But this is such a beautiful pain. It's
through the pain that, you know, you find your balance.
Yeah, for sure. So during a ceremony, I also work with a pacho. This is sacred tobacco.
Okay.
Yes. So I would light this, and sometimes I would flip it on its end, the lid end, and put that in my mouth and blow it on somebody's body to find out where There might be energy stored that needs releasing, because that would then help me, it would guide me to know where to apply some of the gates.
Oh, that's interesting.
And where to put it on the body. Oftentimes we follow the meridians on someone's body when we apply a gate for Kambo.
Okay. So with the smoke, do you see, does the smoke become stagnant in one spot, or does it clear faster? How does that work?
So oftentimes if you have chatter and you have a lot, you're just constantly thinking, you can't get out of your head, the smoke will stay on someone's head. It won't remove itself.
Okay.
I had a client a couple weekends ago who had just a tension, constant headache in this area.
Okay.
And the smoke itself just
settling.
It settled on her shoulders and on her neck. And also when the gates are open, I will blow smoke on them. And it's a cleanser. In the beginning of a ceremony, I will blow that and sage into somebody's hands, and they can cleanse themselves after I cleanse them.
Yeah, well, that makes sense though, because when you have like an imbalance, it's an overactive, it's like this little vortex that you have going on, a little overactive chakra. Yeah, so very cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
And, there's various other items, if someone's having a difficult time purging, this is agua de Florida. And this is
the Florida water?
Yeah, this is the Florida water. I love how this smells.
Let's smell. Is that rosemary?
Yes.
That's so nice. What is in there?
It is. There's the rosemary, there's alcohol, there's a variety of different herbs, botanicals that are in there. It's a secret sauce.
A secret, yeah.
But oftentimes if someone's having a difficult time purging during their Kambo ceremony, I'll spray that around them and it induces a purge.
Okay.
Again, water to spray on the gates. If someone's having a difficult time purging, I will also use the rattle.
I like this rattle.
Yeah.
I like the sound of it.
Yeah, these are homemade. This came from the people that I trained with.
Amazing.
Yeah. And after the Kambo is wiped off of somebody's body, wherever it is, and they've gone through their purge, this is dragon's blood. And it's a sap from a tree.
Yes.
And it's applied as an antibacterial on the gates so that there's no infection. And this will usually be on the skin for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then it'll naturally fall off.
Okay.
It just closes the gates.
Yeah. What else can you use the dragon's blood for? Because I know I have sage that has it dipped in dragon's blood. And it brings like an extra, powerful energy to it. But what do you use the drops for, and the resin?
I just use that. You just educated me on that because I didn't know that. But I just use it. We just use it to, just put it on the gates to protect it from, any type of infection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it, you can't ingest that, right?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I didn't know if it was a resin, but probably not.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
So, there's a variety of different medicines, different from music, breath work, and then snuff and the Kambo, etc., that go into a ceremony. And then I also work with a beautiful medicine, which is called No Name, and it has just a bunch of beautiful things from Mother Earth, roots and flowers and mushrooms and et cetera, et cetera. And it really brings out the essence when you smoke it. And you see the essence of your life. You see the essence of life around you. You see the heartbeat of the world and the earth. And if you close your eyes when you're using it, it's a very internal process, and you'll get the messages that you need.
And what's that experience like? Is that are you still able to be functioning, or is it like
It lasts about 15 minutes. You know where you are.
Okay.
And you can always open your eyes, and you can actually be outside and work with it in nature, and you can see the guardians of the world, the guardians of Mother Earth. And I know that might seem a little hippy-dippy for people, but you really see the energy and the essence, and they come alive. But yeah, you can always open your eyes, and you know where you are. You're not if you go on ayahuasca, that's a very long trip.
Yeah.
And you really are in a different place.
Right.
You know, you're seeing different things.
Right.
But with this, with No Name, it has a lot of elements of DMT in it. So if anybody's ever worked with DMT, you will see the fractals and the colors, and you'll see the different images that might come about. But again, it's a 12 to 15 minute experience as opposed to ayahuasca, which is,
Very
5 to 8
long,
hours.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And then, so after you have the No Name, I'm sure there's probably some like lightning feeling effects that last for a few days, probably.
Oh,
right?
yeah. With Kambo, you will definitely feel that, because your body's being infused with these peptides. It's scrubbing those cells. It's replacing those toxins with just good peptides. So I always say that, it's wonderful to do Kambo before you work with No Name. It's not necessary, but No Name, yes, to your point, it's there's no way that what you see and experience and feel in the messages and the downloads, there's no way that after you see that you can deny what you saw and what you experienced and what was being told to you. So the first time I ever worked with it was in Utah. And I had my eyes closed, and the first time I laughed. It was just like I felt so much love. With any medicine, it will bring up really what is in you and your true essence. With No Name, I saw Candyland.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was like Candyland, and it was almost like Candyland on ecstasy.
Oh my goodness,
it was so fun.
Yeah.
And then the next day, we worked with it again. And I closed my eyes, and I saw myself on a pedestal, and I was in a glass globe, and those without any names, the trees, Mother Nature, all of those beautiful guardians were circling around that globe, almost like on a gravitron.
Okay.
But they were doing this to me.
Oh.
And what they were doing was pushing the love towards me.
Oh, amazing.
And they kept on saying, it's always been you. You've always been alone. And for the first time in my life, it was not anything to fear and to resent. It was something so beautiful. It was like, it's always been you. Look at you. Look at where you are. Look at where you've gone, and the things you've done in your life. You've done this.
Oh, that's amazing.
And they said, if you ever forget, we're always here.
Yeah.
And I also had this beautiful healing with my mother. I felt this incredible, love, this like omniscient, omnipotent, godly agape love that just filled me. And I got off the next day, I called my mom. I was like, I love you.
Oh.
Yeah, I love you so much. And I'm so sorry for anything. Our parents are only individuals, humans, living how they know how to live. And, we all make mistakes and such. But
that's a beautiful experience, though.
It really was.
Yeah.
So, you can have experiences like that. I've had, again, other experiences where I have just laughed to tears, but also that's like a purge for a lot of people. That's a healing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then some people see things that are probably things that they don't want to face on the conscious level.
Yeah. I feel like it's all right there, though.
Yeah.
And it's like these tools just bring it out. This morning I got up very early. I was up at 4. And I decided to go for a walk at the park here, because I live right over here. And whenever I go there, when it's like dark and there's no one there, I always feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland. And like, I just feel like everything is is alive, because it is, but you feel like the essence of these plants and everything. Like, I just feel them wanting to reach out and speak to you, you know, they just, and the animals, but more so I feel very connected to like the plants when I go there. And I feel like these things just kind of amplify that. It's all there, but we are just so in our, you know, matrix way of living, and we're kind of closed off to these frequencies in which these things help us tune into.
Oh yeah, you explained it very well. You know, I think that these medicines, among other medicines, they really they help you. You know, Timothy Leary had something there, you know, tune in, tune out kind of thing. And it allows you to just kind of get all of the hubbub and remove it and push it to the side and see clearly. You know what I mean? Like, there's this,
that
you really open your eyes when you're on these types of medicines. And there's no way to go back.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons why, you know, a lot of these medicines have been slow on the uptake with a lot of individuals. Because
that's what I was going to ask next about your opinion with that, because there's not usually positive reviews or views towards these types of things.
Yeah, you know, I think people are instantly like Google researchers when they see, which you should educate yourself. Like I said, you should always work with a practitioner who is certified in these types of medicines, who has experience with them. But, you know, people Google research and they see always like the negative things that are happening, you know, and whatever. Yes, that's why for me and the people that I train with, we do an intake, a health intake, to make sure that everybody's systems are good, make sure that they aren't missing any organs, that they don't have migraines, that they haven't had strokes, and to make sure there aren't any contradictions to them working with the medicine.
Right.
They are very powerful medicines, and
What would you say to someone that has anxiety, or just maybe anxiety in general? What would be a good plant medicine that they could use, or would it not be recommended for someone with anxiety?
You know? I think any of these that I've talked about today are really wonderful for anxiety. We have a lot of people who come to us with anxiety issues. They're on anxiety meds. A lot of people come to us with even like, you know, ketamine addictions, methamphetamine addictions, like really serious medical issues in addition. But anxiety, because really, I'll answer your question, but you know, it really, you have to, whatever medicine you look at, you always have to go out into the real world afterwards. So you have to think about like, how am I going to adjust my life? What am I doing that's causing the anxiety? You know, what's my lifestyle like? You know, am I in a super, you know, anxiety ridden job? Am I in a relationship that's causing my nervous system to be dysregulated? Am I drinking alcohol and that's depressing me? And then I'm not doing what I need to do. So is that causing me anxiety? You know, when you work with a lot of these medicines, you're going to have to make adjustments in life.
Holistic healing. It's not just one element that can cause whole wellness.
Exactly. You know, but with, I'd say, you know, Ràpe is really wonderful. I use it on a daily basis as well. And as you were saying, you do. And it's just a beautiful medicine. I was showing this earlier, but it really grounds somebody. And I think it gives you time with yourself and allows you to breathe and just kind of surrender and accept that which we don't want to necessarily surrender and accept to in our daily lives. And that's, I think, what causes a lot of the anxiety, the anxiety crisis. I think that's a real crisis.
It is. It really is. There's just so many things that contribute to it, and we really just don't have great solutions aside from like pharmaceuticals and everything. But to go back to those heavy addictions, what do you recommend for the heavy addictions? The Kambo can help break those heavy addictions? Wow.
So there are protocols, you know, with a typical Kambo session that somebody comes to me for, you know, they're having, like I said, a breakup, or they're having, you know, headaches or something like that, just from, you know, the foods that they're eating. And that's like usually a 1 session experience. Sometimes it's 3 sessions.
Okay.
That's like the 3 sessions is something I call the vaccine of the jungle. That's actually a really great way to get to your baseline again, to just really like clean your system out and be ready to take on, the world.
Right.
I served somebody who was retiring, and she just really wanted to like leave that old world behind and start this new world ahead. Again, if you could just repeat what you wanted to know. I just want to
remember. Oh, about breaking the addiction.
Right, the addictions. So there are protocols for those types of addictions. Those require 12 sessions, 15 sessions. They also require other tinctures and such, which that's something that I definitely work with my teacher on. He's exceptional when it comes to that. Lyme disease, that's really something that's huge here on Long Island. And Kambo is incredible to remove Lyme disease. People don't know about this.
Yeah.
It's something that there's a protocol for that, a specific protocol.
Yeah.
So the addictions, even people who are on anxiety meds, they come to us to get off of that.
Right.
So.
And it's legal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a contraband.
Right.
Look, pharmaceutical companies know that there are benefits to it.
Yeah,
and like I said, there's lots of patents. So they know. And I think that's how all drugs are in Western society. They have elements of a lot of plant and earth medicines. Yeah. They learn how to manipulate them and adapt them to the masses.
Right. It's amazing stuff, though.
It is.
So addictions, right? What else? If someone, some clients, what do they usually come to you for? Like, what would be a good, someone looking for a fresh start, looking to break some patterns, I would say.
All of that. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're having difficult time sleeping, again, chronic pain, if you have allergies, the Ràpe is really great for that. It helps with your sinuses.
Clears the sinuses.
Yeah. If you, again, have Lyme disease, a lot of women also have lots of cramps from their period.
Yeah.
The peptides are incredible to help, infuse that area.
Yeah.
Your ovaries, your hormones, it balances your hormones out. Yeah. So that's huge for women.
I might have to try this one. I might have to.
I'm telling you I was a little bit slow to the, starting gates earlier when I was talking about Kambo and the experience, but it's just the purge. I don't want anybody to be afraid of that. It's the word, unfortunately, that I have to use.
Yeah.
It's purging. Yeah. So you do purge, but it's not like a sick purge. When you have the flu, you're just like, oh gosh. No, this is like the water that you drink when I'm applying the gates. That's what comes out with everything else. The color of the purges is incredible.
Really?
It varies.
Wow.
Now, I'm never going to say like, hey, you have diabetes.
Yeah.
But, because I'm not a doctor, I'm a practitioner of indigenous medicine. But the colors are indicative most of the times of certain things that people have.
Wow.
The elements that they have.
Wow. Like chronic inflammation. What color is that?
That's usually like a brown. Orange. More of an orange. Forgive me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's brown intense. Is like your kidneys and your liver, brownish red.
What are some of the other colors? I guess it would
green.
Be green, right?
Green is usually, it's actually a lot of the times like this color. This is the mat that I actually use. I got this in the Amazon.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Can I touch it?
Yeah, absolutely. It has Icarus and it has the frog on it. It's pretty large, so I won't show it, but
so the green is like this color?
It's like this color.
Oh my goodness.
Chartreuse, and oftentimes that's panema. That's a lot of people who are just holding on to a lot of energy that they've collected from individuals.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like you're depressed. You have, it's just stored in your body. And yeah, the panema is usually like a chartreuse green.
Wow.
That's bile.
Yeah.
You know, scientifically, it's bile.
Yeah.
Energetically, it's Panema.
Yeah. I find this all very interesting.
Good. I love that.
So for someone that, because I know a lot of people, myself included, that have always been like wanting to try ayahuasca, but that was too intense of an experience. This is like a nice alternative to something.
The
Kambo.
Kambo. Again, you're not going to get the hallucinogenic, you know, aspect of that.
But as far as like the cleansing aspect and like
you know, people have digestive issues. Just going back to what you were saying, a lot of people have digestive issues, you know, from the crappy food that we eat, the terrible water, you know, the stuff that we ingest, you know, whether it's a medication, we carry around so much waste in our intestines. And some of those, as I was mentioning earlier, those peptides are, they work to, you know, expunge all of the literal crap that we have. And, you know, sometimes, like I said, you'll purge through the bottom. I've purged both. Yeah.
Wow. This is all, it's just so amazing.
Yeah. The first time I ever did Kambo, I was served by a practitioner here on Long Island, and she went through the same training program I did out in California. And I was about to have this spiritual experience. I was feeling elevated. And then afterwards, I learned that she wiped off the medicine because she thought I was going to pass out. So we're trained in how to handle
and be ready.
Yeah, and to be ready. And I still felt, you know, after the fact, I felt like I had a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, again, I can't stress it enough. Make sure you know who you're working with at all times when you're working with these medicines.
And how many years have you been practicing?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was,
but I feel like this is like, this has been in me ever since I was a wee one. You know, the earth has been speaking to me ever since I've been 5 years old.
I'm sure it hasn't even been just this lifetime. It's probably been many lifetimes.
That's right.
You know?
But what I can recall, and I often talk about this, is I was 5 years old camping with my family. And I decided to take my 5-year-old little Jill and walk down the path, you know, in the woods towards the beaver dam. And before the beaver dam, there was a patch of ferns. And the sensual experience that ferns offered me at 5 years old.
Don't they move on their own?
They do.
They do.
They open, they close. But also the color, the chartreuse, the sound of the squeakiness against my sneakers. When I laid down in the patch of ferns, I rubbed, you know, the fern on my face, the featheriness, and the scent of the ferns. You know, there's just like, they smell so fresh.
Yeah.
So that's always, I just always have been really connected to nature. Yeah. And I've worked with a lot of medicines over the course of my life. You know, at 48, I have a lot of years behind me. So, yeah, it's been a real honor. It's been so special to be able to hold space for individuals who are looking to help themselves. You know, there's this term that goes around, healer and shaman, and I think that is so inappropriate. You know, to actually be a shaman, you have to study for, you know, many, many years. It's thrown around loosely these days. So I'm just a vehicle to help facilitate an individual helping themselves. You know, if they have the curiosity.
You're not healing.
Right. I'm not a healer. Yeah. You know, it's the medicine is always the individual. You know, the medicine is always in you. Yeah. It's helping these help you to understand that and to, you know, see that in yourself. Right. Yeah.
Amazing.
It is.
Well,
we're going to get you to do Kambo.
I think so. I mean, I'm pretty on board.
Maybe some no name. Who knows?
No name sounds great.
Yeah.
Walk in the park and the trees come alive.
The trees come alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be amazing. All these fun things. So if people want to reach you, how can they reach you to set up a session with you and to do that? So you have a Kambo session, right? You want to tell us a little bit about the sessions?
As far as
just like bullet point the session, so you have a combo session.
Combo session, that's typically $225. That's usually an hour and a half. That includes breath work, Ràpe, Sananga, the combo itself, and then there's also the no name. That's usually $325. But I also say and that usually is 12 to 15 minutes, but it packs a punch. It's super powerful. Sure. And then, I work with people, if they do both of them, I adjust some of the costs. Or if they do 3 combo sessions, etc. So
that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Pricing.
And I never want to say that, I never want to turn anybody away.
Yeah. We
all are here to help ourselves, and I want to be able to help people. So I always work with people. There has to be some exchange though. That's really important. I think maybe you experience this, maybe you don't, but people, who work in the healing space, often, are questioned about, oh, well, isn't that a lot of money? Well, this is an energy exchange and I'm helping you. So there has to be some kind of exchange to honor the experience. Yeah. But they can reach me via email, jillmedicinekeeper@gmail.com. I'm working on my website currently. Again, it's been a lot of word of mouth. I promote it on my Instagram, which is Jill_JC, JAYCEE. Okay. And that's on Instagram. They can reach out to me in DM. Or maybe we'll be doing some sessions here. Possibly, yes. Well, thank you so much for coming by and sharing all this information. Thank you so much. It was so amazing to see all these tools and hear about this. Thank you. I look forward to doing something and connecting again. Thank you for having me. What you have here, the offerings that you're giving to the community, it's needed, it's overdue, it's welcomed, and I wish you all of the greatest success. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you.